What I'm saying, the trade-off of like going on a date and as the man being like, oh, this sucks, I have to pay, or as the woman being like, oh, this sucks, I might get murdered, is like a pretty big, imbalance.
All right, I don't know how much of this video I'm gonna be able to get through because this bitch is an hour long, well 43 minutes long. So y'all want me to continue it outside of what I do today, just let me know. But we definitely gonna dive in. There's Vice out here making more videos, and it says, be a man. I got merch that says that shit. Modernists and traditionalists debate masculinity, man. One of the most important things I think society needs more of, I know society needs more of, masculinity, man. It will fix a lot of shit going on in this fucked up world that we living in right now, man. Anyway, let's peep.
There is a social construct that benefits men. And so the responsibility that I've learned as I've gotten older is learning how to not enforce my power.
What privileges are you referring to? Like, what privileges do men have?
We've constructed this entire society to benefit us.
Break it down, like what privileges exactly?
Like we talk about the wage gap, or if you look at Roe versus Wade, men controlling women's bodies.
Even if there might be those privileges, there's also more men who commit suicide, more men incarcerated. I think when you talk about like incarceration rates and things like that, like things that men are a victim of, I think that it's important to like recognize, like, I don't think that men are oppressed solely on the grounds that they're men. I think that men like experience oppression based on like the intersections of their identities, which is, why we see like different like lower class jobs being worked by men, or like higher suicide rates, or like incarceration rates going up, because like men, like black men, brown men, indigenous men, queer men, trans men, etc. Those people like face oppression, they experience oppression, but it's not solely due to their identity as a man.
But I think dating and sex is probably a very interesting place to think about this, because it's a changing field as far as like what people expect of each other.
I date in New York City a lot, and dating-wise, there's a lot that's like asked of a man. Like first dates are like nightmares.
I got a question on that, yeah.
Dude, it's like, I'm like, what do you want? They got like a checkbox, like, are you gonna pick me up? Are you gonna walk on the outside of the sidewalk? Are you gonna open the door? Are you gonna pull out the seat? Are you gonna pay for the meal? Are you gonna be interesting during the dinner? Are you gonna be funny during the dinner? And then when you walk home, are you gonna drop me off? Are you gonna watch me walk inside? And then are you gonna text me after? And it's like trying to defuse a bomb. Like if you think you're like red wire, blue wire, and you're like one little thing and you're just done. And it's like, I'm to the point where I'm like, I'm so tired of like paying $150 for a first date, and then you just ghost me. And the next week I'm like hurting for cash. I'm like, I could have really used that $150. Like, why did I have...
Transparency is definitely respected, bro. It directly opposes this patriarchy that men benefit from, when what he just explained is directly driven by what the hell the women want, because they have all the options and they can pretty much dictate how the hell they see these dates or these interactions or engagements going, because they got all the leverage with all these dicks just goddamn pursuing them. You know what I'm saying? So they can say, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need this, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need this. But on the other side of that, if you're a man out here who is representing yourself with the necessary masculine frame, you can mitigate that process, as much as possible, man. Because if you come across as a type of man, your typical woman will want, which I would assume would be a masculine male. Most women want masculine males, right? Even the most modern, most aggressive ass, hardened women that primarily exist today, or not primarily, but exist the most today, either need or want a masculine man to put them in their femininity, right? So I just want to put that out there. The more masculine you are, if you know how to, move accordingly in that masculine world, you can maneuver around this shit better, because it's not gonna matter. They're gonna just fuck with you just on GP, on principle.
Have to, you know what I'm saying? The trade-off of like going on a date and as the man being like, oh, this sucks, I have to pay, or as the woman being like, oh, this sucks, I might get murdered, is like a pretty big, imbalance.
Bruh, did he really just compare going on a date and paying to women going on dates and getting taken out? apples and oranges now. That's like a hippopotamus and a fairy, bro. Like, hold on. That's like a hippopotamus and a raccoon. You can't, those do not compare at all. 100% of dates are someone's going to pay, whether it's the man or the woman. 99% of the time, it's probably the man paying. It's just the way societal norm is. Comparing that to the amount of times that women get taken out on dates, like, I don't want to say the word he just said because, you know, YouTube be on that bullshit, but you know what I mean? Like, you're going to compare the amount of times a transaction needs to take place to pay for a date to the amount of times women are physically victimized on said dates, bro. You can't compare those, bro. Victim card.
On a first date,
And no one
should
said
the
anything, bro. No one said anything, bro.
man or whoever identifies as the man on the date
And whoever identifies as the man on the date, bro. I'm so fucking sick of this goddamn bullshit, bro. Y'all got the wrong panel of men up here talking about some fucking masculinity, dog. I swear, bro. There's a severe lack of masculinity represented today that is directly harming society, bro. It's directly harming society. Men are fucked up because they lack the masculinity. They lack the drive. They lack the control. They lack the ambition. They lack the discipline. Masculinity will fix all of that.
pick up the check? Show of hands. Who thinks yes?
Yeah, should is a weird.
Yeah, shit's a weird way to put it.
Okay, sorry.
weird.
How would you put it?
I very much love gender roles. I like masculine men, and I want my masculine man to pick the check up. My friends seem to be the same. My girlfriends seem to want that as well. But I have a male friend who was naturally doing that, and with the dates he was going on with women, they were offended that he like took the check. So
Feminism. Like, what are you supposed to do, fam? What are you supposed to do, bro? I bet it sometimes you even bring that question up. You know what I mean? Like, if you have the intent to pay it, but you don't know how she's gonna feel about it, you just bring up the conversation. The conversation may put a woman off. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta just, bruh, it's different strokes for different folks. It's all it is an easy way to maneuver and get through who is for you and who's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a girl out here who's gonna tweak on you for offering to pay for the fucking date, you need to run the fuck that way.
I think like, hey, if this woman doesn't want him to pay and she wants to show she can
And
pay.
then there's a game too. Like, if say for instance she offered to pay, but she didn't have the intent to pay. She just offering to play a game with you. I want to see what it's gonna do if I offer to pay. And then he let you pay. You may get deaded from that date from then on because she's just playing games with you. Women do that all the fucking time. Like, they don't fucking say what they mean and they don't mean what they say. I'll pay. No. They want you to say, no, I got it. They be playing games like that, bro. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Which I go right back to what I was saying, bro. This is an easy way to navigate through who's for you and who's not for you.
They go off.
I think it's a matter of preference. Like, you know, if someone picked it up for you, like, you develop a kind of rapport, respect with that person. Like, so be it. If the other person, you know, the woman you're with doesn't want that, then maybe it's not the match for that person. So I think it's dependent on the situation.
I think that there's such a thing as financial abuse. And men seem a lot of time, because they spend, that a woman has to be under them or owes them something.
I think that's when you get toxic.
Me personally, I love to take care of my partner. I love that
So why are
feeling.
we gonna talk about the extreme though, bro? The grand scheme of things, like the big thing to me, toxic masculinity is a extreme side of masculinity, right? But we're talking about masculinity as a whole and how he just said it. Like he said, a lot of times men use their financial ability as a way to control. Like, a lot of men don't do that compared to the whole pie of men out here. What percentage of men you think are out here who are capable use that as financial abuse to control women? Especially nowadays, as successful as women are, most women will never find themselves in that situation regardless. That's why they make their money, because they don't want to find themselves totally relying upon a man financially, where they can be, you know, financially taken advantage of, man. But even with that, like, how often does that happen for us to be bringing it up like it's a problem? Financial abuse. How many families out here, relationships out here, do you think exist today with a good quality of living where men are paying for everything? In 2023 now.
That I give them, that they're taken care of when they're with me. And that's when it's with friends, anybody. If you're with me, I got you.
Like, I guess what I'm hearing from you, Andre, is that there's like a lot of pressure to inhabit the masculine side of the social expectation, and yet you might not get the benefit that you would have expected generations ago. And that puts you in a weird position.
Yeah, well, we live in a city where there's 8 million people, and you know, a lot of these girls, especially if you're really attractive,
options.
guys are hitting on them all day.
Yeah.
So they feel like celebrities. You got so many options. I don't blame you. I'd be the same way. Becomes like
There's always
a
somebody better.
I
But
think
that ain't got nothing to do with masculinity, though. That's just supply and demand at that point. So, like I said, the more masculine you are, the better chances you got dealing with all that bullshit.
technology has a big part to do with that now. Like
Yeah,
modern
for sure.
times, like online dating, Instagram.
Especially as a girl, you're gonna have 30 DMs
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah, the
You know what I'm saying?
DMs.
Swipe it up on your picture.
I think
every day.
that's a big reason why it can be tougher for some men.
Not successful.
I think what he's saying is
not saying successful.
there's a toxicity to femininity as well. There is a toxic side to both genders.
Well, I
on
think,
the
I think
flip
anybody
side-
can be narcissistic, but I think that it's like weird to randomly attribute that to like women in New York because they're being complimented all day.
There's a term, it's called absolute.
Minimize the hell out of that bitch. If you are conditioned to feel like you are the shit your whole fucking life, that's gonna have a direct effect on how you present yourself and how you conduct yourself with whomever, men and women, whomever. Right? If you've been conditioned to believe that your shit don't stink, you the flyest bitch out. To say that it's just being complimented all day, come on, man. That's ridiculous.
Power corrupts, absolutely. So, but that is, when we're talking about masculinity, that's what we've had. We've typically had that. We can do whatever we want, and we do it because we squeeze, we corrupt, we take. Historically, you take over things, places that you don't like, and you rape the women, and you take the gold, and you do what you want because you have that power. Now, when we see women have that power, we're like, whoa, she's literally just getting a taste of the power that men have had for centuries.
But on the
bro, what we talking about right now, though, bro? It's like we're talking about right now, and there's a problem right now. So it's like, okay, women can have whatever the hell they want to have because back in the 1600s, when women didn't have no rights and men can do whatever the fuck, it's okay for them to do that shit now. Like, come on, man, it's like, oh, that's stupid. I hate that argument, man. I hate that argument. I hear that argument all the time. Right? Feminism. Women, we just received the right to vote. That's why we're oppressed. Nah, bitch, y'all done had the right to vote forever now. What are we talking about? There's an issue now. We need to address this issue now, regardless of what the fuck happened in the past, to help the fucking future.
flip side of this perspective of dating, of like the poor guy who goes on these dates and gets ghosted and it's a struggle to date. On the other side of that is men have more sex, men cheat more, they have more affairs. So if I'm a woman and I'm looking for a guy, I would be really selective. I would have a list
That's cap. Only the men you pursue are the ones cheating. That's cap. That's cap. What's the stat? I don't know the stat right now is about even who cheats more. If women have more options, who's more liable to cheat? Because most men don't have options. We're talking about a small percentage of men out here who can do whatever the fuck they want. And they're untouchable. I mean, they're untouchable. They represent how most women move today. But it's just magnified. It's like times 10. I mean, like a millionaire dude who look good, 6 foot, 6-pack and shit, he literally do whatever the fuck he want. But that's untouchable. That's not reality, I mean, for most men. But the reality for most women is that they have all the options. That's reality for most women, which is going to affect society on a larger scale than this small sect of men who can do whatever the fuck they want.